Let's talk about when shit hits the fan, you're gonna bug out with everything you need to survive in a backpack. You're full of shit. It's not happening. One, where are you going? Where are you going? You're going to the rural areas, right? The same place that the city folks have like oppressed for so long, right? So you wonder why farmers are so angry, because they work hard all day. Things never go right. It rains, it snows for a little bit of profit. Maybe. Best case scenario, you sell your land at the end of the deal and your grandkids are okay. But the idea that you're going to bug out to the countryside, if you haven't left 10 years ago, you're not going to make friends and you're not going to be that positive influence. So that's why you have to team up with people that are already there, that are desperate for connection, desperate for people to help them, and desperate for labor. So in Virginia, the average age of a farmer is like 63 or something. I don't know exactly, but that's what I tell people. I think it's 63. And regardless of what the actual number is, it's up there in age, right? So by the time that you can afford a farm, you just can't do the work. So your only hope to bug out is to be like putting in those connections now with like local farmers. The calories that it takes for you to sustain yourself it's so many, particularly when you have to build a shelter, rub sticks together to make fire. This is what we teach in our survival essentials classes. But you're not going to do that while like the enemy is at the gates. And the only way to do that is to like get out there early, right? So the time now is to bug out. If you really believe in the mission that we're and the things that we're talking about, you should no longer be in the cities. Inflation can only be fixed with supply side economics, right? It can't be fixed by government spending. Government doesn't run farms. People run farms. They can't feed everybody. And the only way that you can feed yourself is through hard work, determination, and knowing that this is important to you, to your survival, is by putting food on the plate and putting meat on the table. So if you think you're gonna bug out, more power to you. Maybe you've seen the video of me going to cut one of the hay fields for a neighbor, but to get there I have to walk through or drive my tractor through a guy that keeps bear dogs. So his dogs are trained to hunt bear. These things are scarred up, these things are nasty, and you will have no chance against some bear dogs. So you're like, oh well, I've got my Second Amendment, I've got my gun, I'll be able to defend myself. Yet the minute that you shoot that off, everybody in the region knows that, hey man, there's somebody here and they have something worth willing to take, or they've taken something that I've spent my hard-earned money and time on. You can't buy this stuff, right? It's like a jiu-jitsu belt. It only comes, hopefully, with practice and dedication and time on the mats. And you're not giving it like a karate kid. A second grade karate kid that earns a black belt in like a year or whatever. So the idea that you're gonna bug out is just not the case. So that's why what we are doing is so important, because if you don't have the skills to come out here and you don't have the skills to do it on your own, you're not gonna do it for somebody else. You're just gonna be an aimless zombie or a mindless gray mass, to quote a mentor of mine. And you'll bring nothing to the table. You probably bring nothing to the table now. So there's no such thing as fuck you money. There's only fuck you skills, right? So if you're not adding to the skills and not bettering yourself every day, then you're no benefit. And so that's what we're doing. We're teaching people the skills that are necessary to take care of themselves, take care of their families, take care of the people that they care about. Be a giver, not a taker. And if you're bugging out, you're by definition taking. Or you're coming out to take, right? And that just doesn't align with what we're doing. Leaving it better than we found it. We talk about that in our plant classes, how you have to know the plant, know how to propagate it, and know how much to harvest, because we need to leave some for the animals, we need to leave some for the people that come behind us, and we need to leave some for the ultimate health of the ecosystem. So if you're bugging out, you recognize, or if you've packed a bug out bag, you recognize that the system is no longer sustainable, 1, and 2, you think that you can live 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and that's just not the reality of the situation. So I encourage you to learn skills, because it's clear to me anyway, that the dollar isn't worth the paper it's printed on. And protein is the currency of nature. Yep. And I think the grocery store prices are evidence of that, right? How many dollars does it take to buy a pound of protein? It's not getting cheaper unless you're doing it for yourself, and you can kind of opt out of that whole system. So years ago, opt out and film, and that's all we're doing. We're opting out and we're filming our journey. Thanks for watching. More of these videos coming to you soon. SustainableHomestead.com. Join us on our mastermind Wednesdays at 7:30 Eastern time. If you just want to dip your toe into the water and see what we're about, that's a great way to do it. Meet like-minded people that are already moving towards this thing, right? So the story of the 100 monkeys. There's an atoll in the Pacific where that was bombed to high hell for nuclear testing, and they wanted to study the effects of radiation fallout. So they populated this island with monkeys. Those monkeys soon died, and they realized that the radiation was collecting on the hulls of the coconuts that was their primary feed source. So they trained some monkeys to watch the coconuts, and when they dropped those monkeys on the island, it was the most interesting thing happened. One monkey taught another monkey, taught another monkey. So 1 taught 2, 2 taught 4, 4 taught 8, and that multiplied exponentially. But when the 100th monkey was trained, all of the monkeys on the island simultaneously started watching their coconuts. And that's our journey, is to find that 100th monkey. And maybe it's you, but you don't know until we add to that population, right? We're happy to teach you everything that we've learned. That's what we do all the time. We're doing it anyway. Follow along, SustainableHomestead.com.